When your cat climbs on top of you and falls asleep, do you actually know why they chose that spot? Yes, it feels warm and cozy, but behind that weight on your chest, there is a stranger reason most people never think about. It's one of the most vulnerable things your cat can do. And if you react the wrong way, which most owners do, you might quietly reject something they were trying to tell you. By the end of this video, you're going to look at your cat completely differently, because almost nothing about this behaviour is random. Every single part of it, where they sit, how they land, when they choose to do it, is a decision your cat is making on purpose. So let's start with what that position really means. 1. They're pinning you so you can't leave. Why does your cat always land right on top of you and not on the empty side of the bed? Because to them, that empty space is useless. You are the asset. Cats are hardwired to protect the things that keep them alive. Food, shelter, warmth, safety, and in your home, every single one of those things traces back to you. So when your cat climbs on top of you at night and plants themselves right on your body, they're not snuggling, they're resource guarding. By physically pinning you down, they make sure you can't roll away, get out of bed, or be claimed by another pet in the house without them instantly knowing about it. It's the same instinct that drives cats to sit on your laptop, your book, or your suitcase when you're packing. If it matters to them, they sit on it, and nothing in your home matters more to them than you. Researchers who study multi-cat households have found that cats frequently position themselves on or against their preferred human as a form of passive possession, especially in homes where they compete for attention with other animals. Think about it from your cat's point of view for a second. In a multi-cat home, there's no contract, no schedule, no fair turn-taking system for who gets to sleep next to the favourite human. There's only proximity. Whoever is touching you when the lights go out has, in cat logic, won the night. So your cat isn't waiting for an invitation. They're claiming territory in real time, and your body happens to be the most valuable piece of territory in the entire house. This is also why you'll notice the behaviour gets more intense right after something changes at home. A new pet arrives, a partner moves in, a baby comes home, and suddenly your cat is sleeping on you harder and more often than ever before. That's not jealousy in the way people usually mean it. It's a direct response to a perceived threat against their claim on you. The instinct says, something new is competing for this resource, so I need to be physically present on it more than ever. And what makes this even more fascinating is that your cat isn't just guarding you while they sleep. They're actually changing something inside their own body just to be there at that exact moment. We'll get to that later, and honestly, it might be the most selfless thing your cat does without you ever realising it. 2. They're painting you with invisible scent. Ever wonder why your cat kneads and rubs against you before finally settling down on top of you? That's not them getting comfortable, that's them getting to work. Cats have scent glands hidden all over their body, on their cheeks, their forehead, their paws, their flanks, even the base of their tail. Every single one of those glands produces pheromones, which are invisible chemical signals that carry a message only other animals can read. And when your cat sleeps on top of you, they're pressing nearly every one of those glands against your skin at the same time. This is the part most people miss. When your cat sleeps next to you, only one side of their body makes contact. But when they climb on top of you and flatten down, their cheeks, belly, paws and flanks are all working at once. It's full body scent transfer. They're literally coating you in a chemical signature that says, "This human is part of my world." Cat behaviourist Jackson Galaxy calls this scent soaking. Your body becomes the ultimate scent soaker, absorbing your cat's oils and pheromones and blending them with your own natural scent. To a cat, that shared scent profile is everything. It's how they build a sense of belonging, safety, and social connection. Here's something that takes this even further. Cats don't just leave scent behind, they also collect it. When your cat presses their face into your hand or your blanket, they're picking up a small sample of your scent through a structure on the roof of their mouth called the vomeronasal organ. You might have seen your cat do something called the Feline response, That strange open mouth grimace they make after sniffing something interesting. That's them processing chemical information in a way your nose could never compete with. So when they sleep on top of you, they're not just giving scent, they're also taking it, building a two-way chemical relationship that updates every single night. And here's the thing, feline facial pheromones are actually associated with feelings of safety, familiarity, and contentment. So when your cat paints you with their scent, they're not just claiming you, they're telling themselves that you're home. This is also why cats often get more clingy right after you shower, do laundry, or come back from a trip. You've accidentally washed away the scent profile they spent days building. To them, you suddenly smell unfamiliar, almost like a stranger wearing your face. The fastest way they know to fix that is to climb right back on top of you and start the entire scent marking process over again. It's not annoying behaviour, it's maintenance. They're simply reapplying the label that says, "This one is mine." 3. Your body heat has nowhere to escape. Why does your cat choose to sleep right on top of your stomach or chest instead of just curling up against your side? Because to your cat, those are two completely different temperatures. Cats run hot. Their internal body temperature sits around 101 to 102 degrees Fahrenheit, and their thermoneutral zone, the range where they don't have to burn extra energy to stay warm, starts at 86 degrees. Most of us keep our homes around 68 to 72. That means when your house feels perfectly comfortable to you, your cat is already working overtime just to stay warm. So they go looking for the most efficient heat source in the room, and that's your body. When your cat sleeps beside you, your body heat radiates upward and escapes into the open air. But when they climb on top of you and press their belly flat against your skin, something different happens. That's direct conduction. Heat transfers straight from your surface into theirs, with almost nothing lost in between. Their body acts like a lid, trapping your warmth right where they need it. And the reason they always target your chest or stomach is not because they understand your anatomy, it's because cats have incredibly sensitive thermal receptors in their skin and face. They simply move around your body until they find the spot that radiates the most heat, which happens to be right over your core, where your organs are producing the most metabolic warmth. This explains a pattern a lot of owners notice, without ever putting it together. In winter, your cat sleeps on you almost every single night. In summer, that same cat might suddenly prefer the tile floor, the bathroom sink, or a cool patch of hardwood instead of your lap. People joke that their cat doesn't love them as much in the warmer months, but that's not what's happening at all. The bond hasn't changed, only the thermal math has. When your skin is no longer the most efficient heat source in the room, the instinct that pulled them onto you all winter simply has less reason to fire. Come autumn, when the temperature drops again, you'll usually get your living heating pad back without doing anything different at all. 4. They're hiding behind you on purpose. What if the most dangerous thing your cat does every night isn't sneaking onto the counter? It's falling asleep, and where they choose to do it says everything. When your cat sleeps on top of you, they are completely exposed. No walls around them, no ceiling over them, no enclosed space protecting them from anything. Sleep is the most vulnerable state a cat will ever be in. They can't run, they can't fight, they can't react. And yet, instead of choosing the closet, under the bed, the cat tree, or any of the dozens of hidden spots built for exactly this kind of protection, they chose you, and they're not just passively resting. Cats in bonded groups use something called sentinel guarding, where they take turns watching over each other during sleep. When your cat lies on your body, they can feel every shift in your breathing, every muscle twitch, every change in your heart rate. If something startles you, your body reacts before you're even conscious of it, and your cat feels that instantly. You become a living alarm system that wakes them the moment something is wrong. Think about what that actually means. Your cat looked at every option in the house, every hiding spot designed to keep them safe, and they decided the safest place to be completely unconscious and completely vulnerable was right on top of you, not behind a wall, not inside a box, on you. There's a second layer to this most people never consider. Cats are prey animals as well as predators. Out in the wild, a sleeping cat without cover is an easy target. The fact that your cat is willing to give up every defensive advantage just to be physically attached to you tells you something about how they actually rank you in their internal hierarchy of safety. You're not just a comfortable surface, you're functioning as their territory boundary, their early warning system, and their last line of defense, all rolled into one. No toy, no other pet, no cushioned bed in the house gets that level of trust. Because trust like that can't be bought with treats. It's built one quiet, uneventful night at a time. Before we get to the final point, if your cat does this and you've never once thought about how big of a deal it actually is, take a second and hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps this video reach more cat owners who have no idea what their cat is really saying with their body every single night. 5. They're overriding their own body clock. Have you ever stopped to think about when your cat falls asleep on you? Not just where, when. Cats are crepuscular. That means their biology is built to be wide awake and hunting at dawn and dusk. By every rule of nature, they should be pacing your hallways or stalking shadows while you sleep. But instead, every night at roughly the same time, they climb on top of you, settle in, and shut down. That's not a coincidence. That's a biological override. Research on feline circadian rhythms has found that cats living in close bonded relationships with their owners actually shift their entire activity pattern to match the human schedule. Cats with less human contact stay nocturnal, but cats deeply bonded to their person become more active during the day and rest when their human rests. They are not just accidentally getting sleepy when you do. They are adapting their internal clock to sync with yours. And here's where everything we talked about in the first point finally lands. When your cat physically settles on your body to sleep, this is it. By planting their body on yours, they anchor themselves into your sleep routine, your heavy, motionless breathing, your still body, your slow heart rate. All of it becomes a signal that pulls them into deep rest, even when every instinct in their body is telling them to be awake. A solitary hardwired hunter is choosing your rhythm over its own biology every single night, just to stay close to you. 6. The chemistry happening between you that you can't feel. Here's a detail almost no one talks about. When your cat settles onto your chest and starts to purr, something measurable is happening on both sides of that contact. Studies on human-animal interaction have shown that close, calm physical contact with a pet can be associated with lower cortisol, the stress hormone, and a small rise in oxytocin, sometimes nicknamed the bonding hormone, in the human. Meanwhile, your cat's own purring sits in a frequency range that some researchers believe may support tissue and bone healing, which is part of why injured or stressed cats purr, even when nothing seems playful or happy about the moment. So when your cat lies on you and starts that low rumbling vibration, it isn't only a sound. It's a frequency moving directly into your body through skin contact, at the exact same time your nervous system is quietly downshifting, because something warm, familiar and trusted is pressed against you. Your cat isn't aware of cortisol or oxytocin, obviously, but the behaviour that triggers all of it. Getting close, going still, purring, pressing weight against your body, is the same behaviour they've relied on since they were tiny kittens kneading against their mother. They are repeating the one ritual that has always meant safety, and your body happens to respond to it too. 7. What it means if your cat doesn't do this at all. If you've made it this far wondering why your own cat never does this, that detail matters just as much. Cats that don't climb onto their owner to sleep aren't necessarily less bonded. They're often expressing the exact same instincts in a different way, based on their personal history. A cat that was rescued, that experienced rough handling early in life, or that simply has a more independent temperament, may show trust through proximity instead of contact. Sleeping 6 inches away on the same pillow, choosing the chair beside the bed instead of the bed itself. or following you from room to room during the day can be the equivalent gesture for a cat that isn't comfortable with full body contact yet. Trust like this is also something that builds slowly and can change over months or years. A cat that slept at the foot of the bed for its entire first year in your home might suddenly start climbing onto your chest the moment something shifts. A long illness, a stretch of extra quiet time together, even just getting older and calmer. So if your cat isn't a chest sleeper, it doesn't mean the bond described in this video doesn't apply to them. It usually just means you're watching the same instinct, dressed up in a slightly different, more cautious outfit. So the next time your cat climbs on top of you and goes completely still, you'll know exactly what's happening underneath that quiet little body. They're guarding the most valuable thing in their world. They're marking you as theirs with a signature only another cat could read. They're using you to solve a problem their own biology can't fix alone. They're choosing total vulnerability over every hiding spot in the house. And they're rewriting their own internal clock just to match yours. That's not a cat looking for a warm spot to nap. That's a cat telling you, in the only language it has, that you are the safest, most important place in its entire world. If this changed the way you'll look at your cat tonight, let us know in the comments which point surprised you the most, and subscribe for more videos that decode exactly what your pet is really trying to tell you.